Good morning, children. So, in the last session, I told you that we will discuss about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell later on. So, let's start the session with the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, and before that, we will see what are prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. As I told you that day, or in the last session, that the cell on the basis of nucleus is divided into two categories. The first category is prokaryotic cell and another category is eukaryotic cell. So let's discuss about the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic word is made by joining two letters. Pro, P-R-O. Pro means primitive and karyon in Latin means nucleus. So prokaryotic cell means the cell which is having the primitive nucleus or the old nucleus or earlier nucleus. So the cells which are having the primitive nucleus are called as prokaryotic cell. So first of all, we will see that what are the primitive type of nucleus. Actually, the primitive type of nucleus means the nucleus or the nuclear region. You now know about the nucleus. You have studied in last session that the nucleus consists of the chromosomes, which contains genes which carry the information from the parents to the offspring, as well as they have the information for the formation and development of the new cell. So the nuclear region of the prokaryotic cell does not contain any nuclear membrane. As you have seen in the last session, the structure of nucleus, that basically the nucleus have two membranes, the inner membrane and the outer membrane, which forms the nuclear envelope. But the nucleus of the prokaryotic cell does not have any nuclear membrane, and the chromosomes, they freely move inside the cell anywhere. So such kind of nucleus is called as old nucleus or the primitive nucleus, and such kind of cells are called as prokaryotic cell. Whereas the eukaryotic cell, it has the new type of nucleus, because EU means new and karyon means nucleus. Such kind of nucleus contains the nuclear membrane, and inside that nuclear membrane there is the chromatin material, then nucleoplasm and nucleolus and other things which you have studied earlier in the structure of the nucleus. Another difference between the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell is prokaryotic cells are very smaller in size. The size can be from 1 to 10 micrometer. 1 micrometer is equal to 10 to power minus 6 meter. That is very small. Whereas the size of the eukaryotic cell is generally larger than the prokaryotic cell. So the size ranges from 5 to 100 nanometer. As I told you about the nuclear region of the prokaryotic cell is not well defined, which is called as nucleoid. Whereas in the eukaryotic cell, the nuclear region is well defined and it is called as nucleus. Another very important difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell is the prokaryotic cell has only one chromosome, which freely moves inside the prokaryotic cell, whereas the eukaryotic cell contains two or more chromosomes. Then the last difference which we are going to study between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell is the membrane bound cell organelles. I'll tell you about the cell organelles in this session later on after explaining the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So you just have to should know that prokaryotic cell does not have membrane bound or cell organelles. Membrane bound cell organelles means the cell organelles which are present inside the cell which are not bounded by any membrane. Whereas the eukaryotic cell contains the membrane bound cell organelles. So children, these are the four main differences between the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. You can also see on your screen there is a difference written in your book between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. This table you can fill by yourself, as I have told you everything about this difference in this video session. So now let's discuss about the cell organelles which are present inside the cell. As you all know that the cell mainly consists of the plasma membrane. Inside the plasma membrane is the jelly-like substance called cytoplasm, and inside that there is a dark round body known as nucleus is present. So in this cytoplasm, if you will observe with the help of the electron microscope, very small bodies will appear. These small bodies are metabolically very active, and they help in the functioning of the cell, whether it is a single cell or it is a multicellular organisms. In every type of cell, these cell organelles play a crucial role. They perform very crucial function, and because of that the cell can perform all its functions. So now let us discuss about the important cell organelles which are present in plant cells and animal cells. So the first cell organelle which is present in the cell is the endoplasmic reticulum. The name you can see on your screen, endoplasmic reticulum. In short, we can also call it ER. So endoplasmic reticulums which are present inside the cell, it is a network of membrane bound tubes as well as sheets. If you will observe the endoplasmic reticulum, you can observe two types of endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, shortly called as RER, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, shortly called as SER. So the basic difference between these two endoplasmic reticulums is the rough endoplasmic reticulum surface appears rough due to the presence of ribosomes on it under the microscope, whereas the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is called as so because it does not contains any ribosomes over it, so its surface appears smooth under the microscope. There is one more difference between them, as the rough endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes, so it makes protein for the cell, whereas the smooth endoplasmic reticulum makes lipids for the cell. And together both these endoplasmic reticulum, they provide protein and lipid for the formation of cell membrane. As you all know that cell membrane or plasma membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. These proteins and lipids are provided by the rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this process of formation of cell membrane is called as membrane biogenesis. Now, in spite of that, they also provide the proteins and lipids for the function of enzymes and hormones. So this is the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. Now we are going to discuss the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. The first function of endoplasmic reticulum is it acts as transport channel. As the endoplasmic reticulum spreads from the nucleus to the plasma membrane, so they serve as the transport channel for various materials inside the cell. The second very important function of ER is it provides the structural framework to the cell. It provides the structural framework to the cell for various biochemical activities. And third very important function of ER is in some of the liver cells of vertebrates. Children, you know what are vertebrates? Vertebrates are those organisms which have backbone in them. And you know that these organisms, they contain liver also, like the human beings contains liver. We have liver as an organ. It is the largest gland in our body. So in some of the group of animals, vertebrate animals, the liver cells contain SCR, and these SCR, they detoxify the toxic substances in our body. So now you will ask that what are the toxic substances which are present in our body? Children, you know that we eat different types of vegetables, fruits and other substances, and fertilizers or pesticides are present over them. When we eat them, these goes to our stomach and then they passes on to our intestine. Here in between, the liver cells, they activate on these chemical substances and they detoxify these substances. As well as you have seen that sometimes we take medicines. These medicines also contain some chemical substances or toxic substances. These substances are also detoxified by our liver cells. So these endoplasmic reticulum, they perform very important role in our body. So this is all about the endoplasmic reticulum. So you have to study function, structure of the cell organelle. Now the another type of cell organelle which is present in the cell is Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is described by Camillo Golgi. It is first described by a scientist known as Camillo Golgi, and they consist of a system of membrane-bound vesicles which are flattened and arranged in the form of stacks. These stacks are called as cisterns. So basically these membranes, they have connections with the endoplasmic reticulum also. Let us now discuss the function of Golgi bodies. Basically the Golgi bodies perform many functions. The very important first function is the Golgi bodies act as storage, organ, modification and packaging of the products in the vesicles. Second thing, they also make the complex sugar. Like you know that cellulose in plants which forms the cell wall is a complex sugar. So this cellulose is formed by the Golgi apparatus. Third thing is the Golgi apparatus is also involved in the formation of lysosome. Lysosome is another type of cell organelle which is present in the cell. So we have discussed three functions of Golgi apparatus. First, it helps in the storage, modification and packaging of the products. Second, it helps in the formation of complex sugar like cellulose. And third, it helps in the formation of lysosome, which is another type of cell organelle present inside the cell. Now let's discuss the third type of cell organelle, lysosomes. Lysosomes are membrane-bound cell organelles which are sac-like structures and they contains the digestive enzyme. These digestive enzymes are the strong hydrolytic enzyme. These enzymes, they help in the digestion of the waste substances which are present inside the cell, not in the body, the waste substance which are present inside the cell. Generally, lysosomes are the kind of waste disposal system. They also keeps the cell clean. As you all know that regularly the new cells are formed in our body and the old cells, they worn out. These old cells are digested by the old worn out cells are digested by the lysosomes due to the presence of the strong hydrolytic digestive enzymes. Secondly, they also keep the cell clean. Thirdly, whenever the foreign materials like the food or the bacteria or other germs enter in our body, they are digested up by the lysosomes. Another very important thing is sometimes whenever there is formation of a new cell and during the formation there is any metabolic disturbance in between the cell, the cells if will form will not work properly. So that time these lysosomes, they activate, they burst. From these lysosomes, the strong hydrolytic digestive enzymes release out and it digests its own cell. Due to this function, the lysosomes are also called as suicidal bags of the cell. Remember, due to this function, as the lysosomes burst out, due to the malfunctioning of a cell, they digest their own cell. They are also called as suicidal bags of the cell. Children, remember one more thing. The enzyme which I told you is the strong hydrolytic enzyme formed in the lysosome is formed by RER, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum. So this is all about 3 cell organelles. We discussed endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus and lysosome. A very small portion of this chapter, which is very important, is left, that we will discuss in the next session.